And the Locked On road to the NHL trade deadline continues. The Washington Capitals involved in the latest deal. And for Washington, an acquisition of draft picks while trading away a couple of key players, defenseman Dmitry Orlov being the biggest name of the bunch. And of course, for the Capitals, they are also acquiring 3 draft picks in this deal, a first, second, and third, spread out over the next 3 years. And joining me right now is Dan Holmi of Locked On Capitals. And Dan, let's start with this. What does this deal mean for the Washington Capitals, losing Orlov and Hathaway, getting back a veteran on an expiring contract in Craig Smith, and then the 3 draft picks?
So this indicates that this team is in what is the beginning of a rebuild mode. We know there were promises made to Alex Ovechkin that he would have to go through a rebuild, but I think the Capitals are assessing what they have out on the ice right now, and I don't think they see any big push for the playoffs this year. They've lost 5 straight. What it means for the Capitals is planning for the future. The AHL affiliate has been depleted, and this is going to give this team what everyone's talked about they need, this infusion of youth. It is the oldest team in the NHL. So to add that added youth in the future is going to be a big thing. As far as Craig Smith is concerned, that's an expiring contract, which you spoke of. And I think that that was the linchpin, or they said, if you are going to get these draft picks, you also have to take his contract as well off the books.
And I mean, with these 3 picks, because that is the key to the deal, where do you think the Capitals start to look? And I guess the big one initially, this 2023 draft is supposed to be one of the deepest in recent memory. How do the Capitals look to utilize this pick?
Well, I mean, I think that, especially if you want to take a look at this season, the Capitals, all of the contracts are expiring on the blue line except for John Carlson. So it would be a safe bet to say that they may want to draft a defenseman just to help bolster that depth going forward. Tough questions going forward for the Capitals on the blue line, but I would expect them in the draft to put their target on a defenseman first.
And do you think that this is the last deal the Capitals will make, or in the next week? Do you think more trades are coming down the pike?
Unfortunately, I guess if you're a longtime fan, I think this is just the first of many. I also expect Lars Eller, who is also on an expiring contract, to get traded away. You could also put Anthony Mantha, who has never truly lived up to expectation. Remember the trade that was done a few years ago with Jacob Vrana. A bit of a hot and cold player. He is currently on the injured reserve, but I do expect to see Eller move on, Anthony Mantha, and to be honest with you, most any of them except for Ovechkin, Backstrom, that kind of thing, the nucleus of the team, because again, like I spoke of, this team is not getting it done out on the ice, and that means change is needed, even though that might upset some longtime Caps fans.
Well, yeah, it's certainly a change of pace. Capitals are a perennial playoff team. Check out Dan on Locked On Capitals for more about what this deal means to Washington. And, of course, keep it dialed into Locked On NHL all along the road to the NHL trade deadline. This is the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.